And it's Freaky Friday, and we are coming to you live with some awesome guests today. We're going to be talking to hunkering Stools today, and I'm sitting on one right now. I want you, are you guys feeling it? Today's the highest spiritual day in like thousands of years, 26,000 years to be exact. So if you are feeling it today, are you feeling that call? You're feeling connected to stuff? Put it in the comments, let me know. And you guys, this is my hunkering stool. Since I can squat really good, this is actually a perfect work stool because I do squat when I work all the time, and I usually squat in my chair. But we're gonna be talking to Casey, who invented this thing. This is like the coolest thing ever. Check this out. Come on, man. So for those of you guys who are wanting to learn how to squat, we just found this guy and I just love what he's doing, so we're gonna talk with him and show you a little bit more. So if you could do me a favor down here, right down there, if you could press this button right here, right now. Do not wait, do it right now. Go there, press that button, and then what I want you to do is send it off to your partner, your friend, your wife, your husband, your kids. Send it to someone that needs it. Send it to someone you don't like, because maybe you'll like them afterwards. And also give me a bunch of likes down here too. Let's get the algorithm going. Because this thing up here has been doing some funny things to us lately. And we need you to go down there and press that. And then on there, give me a bunch of hearts. Give me some fire. Okay, and also put down here what it is that you're feeling today in the comments. Underweight doctors worried for my life with Crohn's and high liver enzymes. Give us a DM. Crohn's is an easy thing to fix. We have literally thousands and thousands of people that no longer have symptoms from Crohn's. I mean, thousands. They report to us all the time. 28-day reset, follow the process. You got to deal with the emotion though. That grief in there that you're holding on to is gonna get you if you don't do something about it. Reynard, guys, these are all things, just DM us. If you're asking those questions, it's because you're not in our programs and you're not doing our resets. Those are simple things to resolve. Super calm. And again, it's not me claiming it. It's from thousands of people who have sent us their results. What do you think about Shilajit? I love Shilajit. Okay, let's talk to what do you think? I like the red velvet. I like the sugar sweet. I'm on my stool. It's kind of neat. Hey, Casey, how you doing, man?
Hello, Gary.
Hey, so I actually was so impressed with your product. I personally carried it in my suitcase from Los Angeles. Now, I got to tell you, going through the airport and security and customs with a thing that looks like it could be a tactical weapon, it was interesting.
I can't believe you carried it through the airport. That's super fun.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, awesome. I mean, it's a really cool machine. Here, I second here.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a really cool machine. I can see, like, for me, obviously, like, that's my resting spot and I could stay there all day, but I needed this when I started. I have a video of me teaching Ben Greenfield's kids how to squat and why it works. And it was funny because that was years and years and years ago. And at that time I could only squat for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then I would start getting all this pressure build up in here. And then now today it's like I don't even think about squatting. When I stand too long, I just squat so I can rest my legs.
Well, so going back to one of the reasons why I developed this is I'm a big man. I weigh 300 pounds.
Whoa.
I'm trying to lose weight now.
You weigh 300 pounds? How tall are you?
I'm 6'3" and I weigh 300 pounds.
Oh my God.
I'm down
You're like
from
huge you're like a refrigerator. No, you're not a refrigerator. You're like a truck.
I'm down from 330 pounds, and so I spent my whole life getting big, and I guess it worked. And so now I'm spending the rest of my life trying to lose all this mass that I compiled over the years of lifting giant objects and doing lots of fun stuff.
So did you
Um,
gain that weight for performance because of working out? Is that where you?
so I gained the weight. I played college football. I was a defensive lineman in college football, and then I quit playing football to go pursue a career as a professional mixed martial artist. So I used to fight in cages for years, and then during that time, I was a general contractor, and I was forced to be my own forklift or crane for the day to save money. So, and then I competed in strongman competitions where they lifted big tires and lifted big stones, and we do overhead log press and all these crazy circus type events, and uh,
I
and
was just
through all
saying
that process, so I
you're as big
got
as
big
the
and strong.
Swedes. You're as big as the Swedes and the Ukrainians and the Finnish guys. But isn't that your background, anyways?
Yeah, so I have a Scandinavian descent, Scandinavian heritage.
Yeah, it had to be, man. I just never seen anybody from English descent or Latin American descent. I've never seen anybody get that big before because it's
They
always
usually
in the
don't get
strongman
that. Well, I mean,
competition.
yeah, they say one of the reasons why the Scandinavians got so big in that part of the world is they domesticated the cow, and we continued to consume dairy products after we were babies, and it helped add some size and strength to us. But who knows?
Yeah. Somehow I think it's genes because Americans have been drinking milk for like 400 years and they're still pretty puny compared to you.
There you go. Yeah. So who knows the reasons why? But yeah. So that being said, though, the hardest problem that I did all this crazy stuff, and my back held up really well over the years. But the problem that I've incurred is when I sit. And so when I sit in a prolonged static position, it just kills my back. It collapses my spinal column, my core is relaxed, my glutes are deactivated, and I compress down. Um, that's one of the reasons why on the stools we have these conical compression springs. And so as you're resting on that, it will soak down onto your weight, and so you're not sitting in a static position. So that was one of the reasons. Yeah, there you go.
It's like,
So we designed that so that as we rest down in that deep squat, we're not sitting static, because people could sit on a yoga block or a small stool, whatever. But you don't get the without the springs that you can still activate your body down there.
yeah, it's kind of like because we know one of the stools, the ergonomic stools that I tested for a while, it had a pole that came up and it had a spring on it. You could move it around. It was almost like you're sitting on a pole, and this reminds me of that highly. It also there's a couple of those ergonomic chairs which are like this. So it reminds me, and what I also like is it has a like a little bit of a torque flex because of the springs. So I could actually roll it into that angle. And when I do that, it's actually opening up the fascia around the lower back because if I'm in a squat position and my body feels threatened, my body's trying to hold the structure of it. And the structure is the fascia, not the bones. And then as soon as that, I have a safe place in our system. We teach people if you touch the body in 3 spots, it feels safe. And this is like one spot. So like and when we teach people a squat, we teach them to go against the wall and go down because it's because the body feels safe, so it says, oh, I can go further. And what I like about this is that it allows for the motion in the body like this
Mm.
when the body still feels safe. So I can go all the way forward, all the way back,
I love
And
it.
also, remember those kids things that you rocked on in the parks?
Yes. The
It's
little they
exactly.
go like the little things like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the kid thing. So I tell you from our point of view, like I know it's a good product, and I'll tell you why I know it's a good product because we bring stuff all the time in to test, and usually people touch it, they feel it, they put it back, and we just let whoever's going to use it, and then if you can't find it, that's a good sign in our because that means somebody is hogging it. But the ultimate was Jason was. I'm like, okay, where is this? I gotta get this back. I brought it here. I don't even have it. Like, come on. And so I'm going on live. So I get it back, and Jason had been using it. So he put it actually on a chair and sat like this because he didn't have the desk set high. But I work on coffee tables all the time. And so this is a much better position to work from. So it's not just squatting. It's not about learning to squat. This is a working position, which I was putting a little bit of a small round pillow on it, but
We're actually right now working on getting a sheepskin cover for the stool.
oh, that would be awesome.
And then the
And
sheepskin
what
will
about
help with the
rounding
pressure
the?
points.
What about rounding the like something underneath the sheepskin that would give it not a flat surface but a contoured surface?
Well, you're going to have to help me come up with it. I got to come. We got to sit down and figure out what we need to do because I don't have all the answers. I've developed this product and we're actually here in my garage today. I thought it would be fitting if I was getting on Human Garage to be in the garage. This is I can maybe move it around a little bit. This is my workbench. It's a stand-up bench with some of my stuff getting ready to work. And so, yeah, we are just a brand new company, and we started selling these hunkering stools out of my garage, and now we're working with some manufacturers to be able to mass produce them so that we can get them out to more people and spread the hunkering stool love across the world.
Yeah, it's funny. I think one of the things like we were talking about it here, and we were saying, um, I think one of the things is to actually give it a functional name, and then use your hunkering stool as a company, and give it a functional name so that you can have more versions of them. Um, it's this is like helping somebody. It's like a squat working stool. Like functional or something like that. We hadn't really played around with it, but that sounded because I have a feeling that this is going to go from a squat trainer to an ergonomic functional ergonomic working stool.
You're exactly right. And so one of the things as well, I'm going to turn this around. Let's see if I can show it right here. I hope I can. Can you see the stool behind me?
No, you have to point it down a little bit.
Okay, let's see here. Let's try to do that. Can you see a stool down there?
I can barely see it. Yeah, other people might. Can you comment in there if you can see the stool, everybody?
I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this, Gary. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this.
That's cool, man. We're here at the beginning. I know that this is gonna
My
work, and
beautiful pregnant wife just came out to the garage to try to help me out a little bit. She has. Okay, can you see it now, baby? A little bit more.
and by the way,
So here's
when I tighten my spinal pelvic block and then I push back like this, I get a complete stretch on the fascia down through the lower back and the sacrum.
so
Okay.
right now I can rest down here on my hunkering stool in a deep squat. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
And my back straight, and I can move around. You're very mobile, Gary. Watch you on my stool is like I need to do a video of you, and then I'll sell a lot more if I just had you as my model. But I
I'll
don't know
do
if I
that for
can
you.
afford you to
I'll
be
do
my
that for
model.
you. I'll do that for you. I'll shoot some videos
Okay.
for you.
Well, then once you get tired of sitting here like this, Gary, I'm going to change around and I'm going to sit down in a seiza pose.
Like this. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
So now I can sit here and start opening up my psoas, my hip flexors, and I can bounce down into it and bounce back up.
Wow.
So
I like that. That is
get
cool. I
tired
never even thought of
of
that.
squat. And so I literally, I lay on the floor, I sit on the floor, and then I get tired of sitting on the floor, so then I'll sit in a stays out while I'm watching TV, and then I'll turn around, and then I'll sit down in a squat until I get tired of this. So I'm just back and forth. And then one of the cool things too about it is I can bounce and bounce up. So if I'm older and my knees aren't working that well, I can kind of get a little bit of momentum and spring up.
So here, I want you to do something with me. Turn your stool, face me. Okay. Now I'm going to do a fascia maneuver for you. Sit down in your stool.
Yeah.
People at home can do this too. Take your hands, put them on your knees with your thumbs pointed as far down as you can. Grab the knees and then turn your thumbs towards you and then turn your arms out and hold it like that. Okay? And then for you, you can, if you can, move around slowly. It's slow for fascia, not too fast. Come back to center. Push up your chest there, Casey. Come back to center. Push up your chest. Turn your head right to left. Keep going. Keep rotating. Keep rotating like force your arms down so you keep rotating the kneecaps. So you're twisting the kneecaps.
Twisting my kneecaps.
Yeah, like this. Casey, watch this again. So I'm going like this. Here, I want you to do this and get a live response. I'm going. So I'm twisting it. Twisting the skin on the kneecaps like this.
Okay.
And hold it like this.
I can do that. So
okay, do that.
Twisting it in.
Yeah, do it.
So my thumbs are out, and I'm going
to let the dogs out.
And I'm going to twist in.
Yeah, so you bring your thumbs towards you. No, it's like this. So see how, like that. Yeah.
Like this?
Yes, bring your thumbs towards you.
This way or this way?
Rotating, take your right knee and rotate it counterclockwise.
Out.
Okay.
In.
Yeah. So I'm taking my thumbs and bringing them to my body like this.
I'm definitely stretching out.
Okay, so like this. So you're going to take your thumbs and turn them in like this.
So my thumbs are like this.
Yeah, that's it. You're rolling.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
And you hold it there.
So
this is like this, and
I'm turning in.
This way. Yeah, right there. Hold it there. No, other way. Yeah, so
I'm failing.
That's okay. On the top of your knee, on the top of your knee. Okay, and then turn your thumb towards you. Other way. Yeah, and stretch the skin and hold it there. Just do it once. Yeah, and hold it. Keep turning like you're rotating, like you're trying to twist your kneecap off. Yeah, hold it there. Okay, sit up straight. Pull in your spine. Squeeze your sex organs. Turn your head right to left. Rotate your neck. Breathe.
I can feel it in my hip flexors.
Yeah, that's right. Keep going. That's going to work to your lower back in a minute. It's going to feel in your sacrum. Okay,
It's definitely
hey,
activating my hips.
Casey, repeat after me. I feel supported in my life.
I feel supported in my life.
I feel supported by my father.
I feel supported by my father.
I feel supported by my mother.
I feel supported by my mother.
Okay, good. You see how that went into your lower back now? It'd be like a warm sensation going up your spine right about now. You feel that?
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
Stand up.
Okay, now stand up and then move. Feel how light your knees feel.
I definitely feel lighter.
Yeah, it's a knee torque. It's one of our knee movements.
I've been going through some of your videos and working on them. Obviously, I'm a big guy, so I haven't become proficient at them yet, but there's a lot of good stuff in all of your tutorial videos.
So that one there is one that you would add. You can add to. That's the one if you want. There's a whole lower reset. So your people, you could send them the lower reset and the knee torque. I could send these to you in a separate email, and learning to squat, and then that one there. You see how your knees are. Walk around, see how your knees feel.
I feel a huge release down in my groin.
Yeah, and then do a squat again naturally without one.
My low back, Gary. I felt my low back completely opened up.
Yeah. See, that's fascia. That's what fascial maneuvers do. Okay, now here's another one. Here's a tricky one when people can't get up. Old people especially. Sit down on your stool again with your hands on your knees, and then without moving your face, take your eyes and look all the way to your right, look all the way to your left, just your eyes, all the way to the right, move your eyes to the left, right, left, and then just stand up. See how much easier it is.
Oh yeah.
Now stand up. So what we did is we loosened your fascia between your whole kinetic chain from the knees through the spine all the way up to the neck and the shoulders, but with that torque. And then we reset your nervous system by moving your eyes back and forth.
That is phenomenal.
See, these
I feel like I think I'm excited because I'm on live with you, but I feel like elated.
Yeah. See, we want you to take these ideas. Fascial Maneuvers is a free program, intellectual property, free of charge. You can use it anytime you want, and if you want to work with us, what we do is we'll help you. Like we can learn to squat, and you could actually send that out with your stool and say, here are the movements you can do to help to learn to squat.
I love this. So because it's one thing for somebody to buy a product, Gary, as you know, but then are they going to actually use the product, or is it going to sit in a hall closet somewhere and never be used? And so by incorporating some of these fascia movements with the hunkering stool, we can actually have a product that somebody can actually purchase and then actually use it for its attention. So this is a perfect opportunity for us at the hunkering stool to have education to go with the product. I love this.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I'm like a kid in a candy store today.
Yeah, I just want to meet you in person. I just want to see how freaking big you are.
Yeah, I'm actually, my little brother's 3 inches taller than me.
So come on closer to the camera so I can see you again.
Here we go. Am I back here now? Here we go. Let's turn it around. So I hope it don't make people sick.
So again, why did you invent this? What was the whole story behind it?
Well, going back to when you said, I feel supported by my mother and I feel supported by my father. My grandfather was a dairy farmer. And before automated milking machines, as a boy, my grandfather would actually sit on a milking stool and milk cows twice a day, 7 days a week. And this idea of the hunkering stool originated from a milking stool because we're able to rest down in that deep squat. And, you know, people 100 years ago, 50, 70 years ago, had a lot more mobility than we do. Because of our current static um, lifestyle, we just don't move enough. And so we're losing these natural abilities to be able to rest in a deep squat. And so the idea occurred to me, well, let's make a milking stool with springs. And I'm like, well, how in the world am I going to make a stool with springs on it? And so my dad is a mechanical engineer. I'm a former builder, like I previously mentioned. And so between, you know, a little bit of a ingenuity and a little bit of redneck engineering, we've been able to produce the hunkering stool. And so it's just, and so I actually out here in my front yard, and Gary, if you ever come to my house, you have to come out here to the fire. And
I'm looking
it's just a
forward to
beautiful
it.
setting here at the base of the Utah mountains. And we look out over across the valley, and I sit out there most nights in the summer, and I don't watch Netflix. I sit out at my fire, and I sit and I rest in a hunkering stool, and I go back between a deep squat and the seiza pose, and then I stand up and I move around and I chop firewood and stir the ashes and stir the coals like we did like, and it's so beautiful because I'm there with my beautiful wife, my boys are running around, and it's like it's just the way as humans we were intended to be,
Yeah.
to visit and interact. And it's just a fun product that I've been able to come up with, and I love that you like my product. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better review than like the guy who makes his life sitting in a deep squat. So I mean, that's just humbly honored that you take the time and the interest to get to know us and the product. So just
Well,
we are
we
beyond thankful, Gary.
we got tens of millions of people who have watched us talk about squatting in different ways. Tens of millions, probably somewhere between 70 and 100 million views, and different versions of it and stuff like that. And you know, we started off our clinical practice, and we made squatting a deal. Like I said, I have a video of me showing Ben Greenfield's kids how to squat, and 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 this is back in like 2015 or 16. We used to do all of our meetings in the clinic squatting. So they were allowed to get up, they were allowed to readjust, but they always had to come back into a squat. And what we were doing is, at that time, we realized that the science behind it, you know, and it was this, is that when we sit in a chair, what we do is the fascia from here to here, predominantly here, tightens up. And in that fascia, up the back, is our bladder meridian and our large intestine. So grief and fear are the emotions when we sit. And our world has become more fearful with more grief. And that's been a thing. The average person could sit in a squat 50 years ago. Every person could sit in a squat 50 years ago. Today we can't.
No.
We also, when we squat, when we sit in a chair, we shut off of our diaphragm. And what we do is we put the upper 2/3 of our weight on top of our diaphragm, and we breathe with our shoulders. And that drives adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. And so when we squat in a proper squat, what we're doing is, this is a much bigger thing than people think. Only 3 of our organs inside of here have muscles: the heart, the stomach, and the bladder. The other ones require this movement in order to move stuff. And if it doesn't have this movement, then it's like packing food like through a funnel, like poop, poop, poop. And that means that waste products don't leave our body. So we leave waste products in our body, which is the cause of disease. And because people, you know, it's funny when you ask practitioners, they say, well, I always do this. So there's 3 out of the 10 organs in your body, 3 of them are muscles. How do the other 7 work? They have no idea. Generally, they have no idea. It's because, well, it's microcirculation. And okay, so what is microcirculation? Well, that's when it moves and it's small movements. Okay, but what causes the small movement? Because there's no muscle contraction. It's breath. And and as when we sit, we get all this restriction around here, which is also our spleen, right around here, and our gallbladder. That's why, and the spleen is worried, and the gallbladder is resentment. So when we sit in chairs, we create fear and grief, worry, and resentment.
And then also with that is I notice as I'm sitting, my psoases and my hip flexors shrink and tighten, and then my glutes are deactivated, and which our glutes are our biggest, strongest muscles in the human body. And so when our muscles aren't firing right, especially our main pistons that generate the engine, our glutes, then it shuts down everything else. So obviously, I'm preaching to the choir, and I love it. I love all the information you're sharing.
Well, this choir actually sings a slightly different tune, and I'm going to tell the world that later. That the biggest muscle in your body is actually your fascia.
Boom.
Boom. Because if you restrict your fascia, your muscle can't move. And so it's like when we try, and we're trying to, as a society, we have a bathtub of performance. And what we're doing is we're turning it on, more muscle, more performance. But we have the plug is open in the bottom of the bathtub. And so to perform, we can either remove the restriction or we can put more power against restriction, which creates more restriction, or we can remove the restriction, which is plug the hole of the bathtub. And that's what fascial maneuvers, and that's what you just did with your knee torque.
I can still feel that activating in my hips, by the way.
Yeah, because what it did
Just
is
standing there, I can feel my body like opening up.
Yeah, it removed the restriction of fascia from your knee, up your thigh, up your inner thigh, and up the outer thigh, all the way to the sacrum, and then started to go up the spine. And if you do it long enough, you'll feel it start to tingle in your head. Now, that means that your muscles can perform the way they were meant to. So it's like, everybody's trying to drive more strength. And when I'm driving a message, I'm strongest I've ever been in my life. And I used to squat 600 pounds.
But it's so funny you say that. I lifted lots of heavy weights. I'm right now having a hard time doing a single-legged, right-legged kettlebell single leg deadlift because my adductor has been shut down and my right glute hasn't been activating from years of trauma and sitting and all the rest of it. So I've actually started.
Hey, let's do it. Back up off. Get on. Let's turn that camera around.
Here we go.
I'm going to tell you, your muscles have no problems. It's the
Okay.
fascia is restricting the muscles. So let's do something on your right side. Your right side, right?
My right side, yeah.
Okay, take both hands, put it on your belly button. We're going to do a lunge, okay? Face me. Okay, go to your right 2 inches and down 2 inches.
Right 2 inches and down 2 inches.
Yeah, right above your hip. So it's halfway between your belly button and your hip. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to pull the skin up. So pull the skin up. You do it through the shirt. Pull it up so you feel tension going down into here and here. You feel that?
I'm pulling up on my skin.
Yeah. Now lunge forward with your left foot. Lunge forward as far as you can. Deep lunge. And then look up in the sky. It should be burning in the hip and breathe in deep with your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, come on up and walk around.
Oh, my skin felt like it was on fire.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, that's what was blocking. Walk around now. Don't worry about being on camera. Just walk around. Now try to squat.
Now my left hamstring was tight when I sat down.
Was it your left hamstring tight or was it the fascia restricting your left hamstring? Let's do the other one.
Okay.
Right here. Go to the left 2 inches and down 2 inches. Hold the skin up really, really tight. Lunge forward with your right foot. And look up to the sky, bring your head to the sky, tighten up your glutes, bring in your spine and breathe. Deep breath with your mouth. Okay, coming up, move around.
I'm outside of my garage and I'm completely sweating now.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go.
My
So
back
that means
is
that
completely wet. I'm completely
that means in your
profusely
body,
sweating right now.
that means in your body work equals force times distance is a lie. That means that it's volume. Now what I want you to do is do the right-handed, go down, do the lunge or the pickup.
Do the right side again?
No, go ahead. Do what you were having a problem doing before. You were saying a right-legged.
Right-legged right here. It's working better.
Yeah. You only did like 6 breaths.
Yeah.
What happens if
So that's, I do a morning, I call it my morning motion.
Okay, so hold on a second here. How much, you got a squat rack behind you, right?
Yeah.
Load it up. Let's do a squat. Come on. Let's see what it does. One of the world's strongest men. A squat here after doing a couple fascial maneuvers. How much we got on there?
This is just 135.
Okay, go for it. Let's see how it feels. Oh, that looks good.
This is really light, but I'm just trying to feel how my body feels right now. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so okay, let's do it. Load it up, man. Come on. Come on, let's do it. It's not too often you get to see one of the world's strongest men do a squat. I'm going to come out there and I'm going to put you on my back and then run up a hill. That's what I'm going to do.
So now this is, can you still see me?
Yeah. Perfect.
This is, can you see the weight?
Yeah.
This is 225.
Okay.
It's not that heavy yet, but I'll just kind of keep going for a little bit.
Yeah, let's see it. Woo. Yeah. What up, Natalia? If you are working out and you've used fascial maneuvers and increased your performance, let us know in the comments.
I can get way deeper today, Gary, than I usually can.
Okay. So let's go.
I'll
What are you doing? That's
down
only 225.
way deeper. Okay, we'll put a little more weight on there.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. It's 225. My grandmother can do 225.
So this is now going to be 315.
Okay, now we're getting there. People are saying, don't hurt him. And like, we'll tell you how to get to schools. We'll have a link in our bio. It's on our, where is it? It's in the bio and it's on the website. We actually have it on our website, and we don't have a financial arrangement. We're just promoting, Casey. Oh yeah, but we don't have a financial arrangement with you. We're just promoting you because we love what you're doing. We want to help. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then at the end, we're trying to put together a 5% discount for the Human Garage people that are watching today to buy a stool.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
So we'll talk about that. I'll do
Yeah,
another,
these
I'll
are
do another
handmade. They're not mass produced. So these are like 5% is 5% of your life.
5% of it is making it very hard for me to keep in business, but because I love you guys so much, I want to do it.
Yeah. We're going to help you with that once you get manufacturing going. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's looking good.
There we go.
What do you feel?
I felt that I felt that in my low back.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to go any more deeper with that today to feel how it feels.
Okay, let's grab the skin behind your shoulders. Can you grab there?
Yeah,
Like
barely.
as far down your neck as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring your elbows to your rib cage. Feel that stretching in your mid back?
Yes.
Okay, now squat. Or if you can. And,
Oh.
and then pull in your spine and breathe.
Oh. Yeah, I can feel my low back opening up.
Yeah, it's all opening up.
Oh.
Okay, here's another one. We do it with you. These are all good for you. Do like a linebacker almost.
Oh.
With your hands.
Yeah.
Hands.
Just like an athletic stance.
With your hands on your knees. Take your left hand, put it on your right shoulder. Take your right hand, grab behind the elbow and pull the skin and lock it. Turn your head to the left and pull your body to the right like you're doing a golf swing. Head to the left, body to the right, and squat.
Oh.
Put your bum.
Oh my gosh.
Your bum out. Put your bum out. Keep your bum not a full squat. Keep up like this, and then breathe. Okay, come on up. Move around a little bit. Let that integrate.
My whole body is opening up.
Yeah, we're opening everything up. I'm gonna get. How do you feel?
Years of trauma and injuries, I can feel things just kind of letting go, like little feathers falling off.
Yeah. So let's do the other one. Now
Other
this one,
side?
you do it. Hey, do it like this.
I got to see the screen.
Like you're hitting a golf ball.
Okay, really deep. Oh.
So yeah, bum back out like this, but not full squat. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay, so hands on your knees.
Bum out.
Right hand to the left shoulder. Left hand behind the elbow. Pull the skin. Turn your head to the right and pull your body around to the left. And then tighten up your spine and squat. Stick your bum out behind you. And then breathe deep through your mouth.
Right. Oh. I can right there, Gary. I can feel it in my back, my low back.
What?
I can feel that in my low back right there.
Yeah, now move around a little bit. Walk around.
This, okay. I have just been converted. To be full disclaimer, I've dabbled with your videos. I've looked at them. I tried some of the routines, but after doing them with the Grandmaster, oh my goodness gracious!
Super easy. So the idea is we have only taught to people how to heal the body, but the truth about fascial maneuvers is this came from making athletes perform. I worked with the top athletes in the world, and what I found is I can, the current philosophy is build more muscle. And I found that to not work long term. Even in short term, it works. Long term, they have a bigger problem later on. So I said, well, let's remove the restriction against the muscle. And that was all the fascial maneuvers.
Fascial maneuvers. Oh,
Let's take away what, because if you bind your shirt and you lift your arm, you can't lift it.
no.
And so if I take that away, that's what the fascia does, is it restricts the muscle. So muscles are meant to perform at their peak function when they don't have resistance. But the second I touch a muscle, it loses power. So the idea is fascia, if it's restricted or tight or dehydrated or emotionally restricted, you lose power.
Yes. And my mouth is super dry.
Yeah. And you feel a little high in your head too?
I can't believe, it's cold. I'm in Utah. It was snowing here yesterday. I'm in my garage and my back is completely wet with sweat.
Yeah,
From
so
here's
the important thing. We used to think that the way that the body had a burn of energy, we used to think it was lift more, move more, work equals force times distance. I found that not to be true. I found that it was circulation of blood flow, which happens when I lift more and move more, but that's only a small part. So what I did is I got your inside body to move when you did nothing with your outside body. And your breath then is blood volume through the lungs, which creates the metabolic effect. So this is the whole idea of people going on a treadmill for 30, 40 minutes to burn calories. That's bullshit. You can just do that maneuver there and it's the same metabolic effect.
I only had a protein shake for breakfast and I feel kind of almost slightly nauseated right now.
Yeah.
Because my body, definitely there was something going on with my body that caused a lot of something released, something's moving in there.
Okay, here, let's do it. Let's do something really, really passive. Take your right hand, put it on your xiphoid. Go down the right side, follow the rib cage right to the curbing point. Push your hand in there.
Yeah.
And turn it. Take your left hand and put it on your neck. Okay, we're going to breathe in 6 times, 3 through the mouth and 3 through the nose with me. So breathe in through your mouth. Close your eyes. 2, 3. Through your nose 3 times. 2, 3. Say, I no longer want to hold anger and resentment in my body.
I no longer want to hold anger or resentment in my body.
I'm replacing this with compassion and understanding.
I'm replacing this with compassion and understanding. So, there we go.
What does that feel like?
Super lightheaded.
Yeah.
Really?
Walk around a little bit. Don't worry about staying on camera. Just walk and get your senses. Look around the room. Tell me if the room looks different. Like
it looks shinier and brighter.
Brighter. So performance happens when we remove restriction. Or I can just put more fuel on the fire, but if I don't take the cage off of that fire, the fire can't grow. If I leave it in a room, that's our body and our performance. If I can put more fire, more fuel in there, it just makes that box hotter. But if I remove it, the fire can spread and grow. And that's performance. So what happens is our liver is heavily involved in how we take action. And our liver, all of our organs store emotions. And we use emotions. I mean, when you were in the World's Strongest Man contest, you use emotions. Sometimes it's frustration or anger or desire, but you use emotion, right? Well, when I use emotion, and bring it up, that emotion gets hardwired into my nervous system and stays there until I release it.
It's stuck, Gary. It's stuck.
Yeah.
All that.
So now, so what we did is we let go of the anger that you use. Now, I know this because, here, I'll show you. I was I was. How old are you again?
I'm 47.
Oh yeah, we're almost the same age. Yeah, I'm 55.
Okay.
But I'll show you. So I used to when I was 18, and I used anger to do this. This is me at 18.
Yes. That's phenomenal physique.
And then yeah, that was 18, and then this was me as I started. This is me as I went national.
There you go. Jeez.
And I what happened was I used to work out angry because I was bullied, and I'm like they can't laugh at me, they can't bug me, rah, rah. And I worked out. Well, that all seeded into my tissue, my brain, my fascia. And so I've been releasing that now. So today, I'm my 14-year-old body weight, 175 pounds. I've never been less than 215 to 220. And I was between 225 and 250 was my range for my entire life, from the time I was 17, 16, 17, all the way up. And now I'm 175 pounds, but I can dislocate everything, and I can take you legitimately, put you on my back and run up a hill.
I believe it. Well, going back to all these heavy weights, and so just when I put those weights on my back today, I've spent a lifetime of smashing my body, from extreme hard physical manual labor to fighting to smashing my body. And when I was doing those fascia maneuvers, Gary, I was like, I don't want to smash my body anymore.
That's right. So here's a good one. Put your right
Yeah.
hand here, left hand here. Okay, breathe in through your mouth. 2, 3. Thank you, body, for putting up with all of the trauma I put you through.
Thank you, body, for all the trauma I put you through.
Thank you for being patient with me.
Thank you for being patient with me.
Thank you for holding the trauma until I was ready to process it.
Thank you for holding the trauma until I was ready to process it.
I'm ready to process it
I'm
now.
ready to let it go now, baby.
Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3. Okay, let that go.
Oh. Well, I'm going to start going through your videos more, Gary. I feel elated, and I feel like lighter. I feel way lighter today, and I'm so excited to be on this live Human Garage channel on Instagram. I'm just like, to me, this is like, so some people get excited to go to Disneyland. Some people get excited to go see their favorite band. Like, this is like VIP tickets to a sold out arena for me today. So like I mean, if you can't feel how excited I am, then you need to come here and I can bear hug you, and so you can feel the love and the passion and all of it. So I'm just so thankful that you're able to put me on today and share my story of the hunkering stool, and I'm so stoked. Maybe you just released all this trauma, and now you have to deal with the repercussions of a giant Viking being stoked.
That's what happens when we let go of the trauma in our body. We laugh. We have joy.
Yeah.
Hey, so you send a message to Mark Bell and tell him thank you for pointing you out.
So Mark Bell was the first person I sent a stool to. Then Mark Bell got me to you, and I mean, it's just such a fun ride. And the cool things about people like you and Mark Bell is that you guys kind of understand the merits of this stool and why we can use it and how it can help us out. And it's an easy adoptability for everybody at home who's just trying to get into a fitness regime. You don't have to be Gary, the grandmaster of fascia maneuvers, or Mark Bell, a famous power lifter or a big Viking in his garage. You can just start easily at home and work into it. So it's a fun project. So thank you for sharing my story today, Gary.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming on, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day soon.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Have a lovely day.
Okay, take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was awesome. That was fun. Hunkering down. Yes. Get yourself, you guys, this is fun because what we got to do is a very, very important topic, squatting, and we found somebody who's brand new, just doing this out of his garage. I mean, human garage, right? And and what we wanted to do is we want to highlight people, and when they have uniqueness and they have a product or a service that fits, that's when we turn on our guns and we help. So you can go to our website under our partners, and you can go to our link tree. And again, when he gives 5%, that's 5% of his time and energy because he hand makes all those right now. But with all of you buying one, that's going to change. I got a feeling, and there'll be other versions of it, stuff like that. But he's going to get some manufacturing done so that we can actually sell these, because when people start to squat, their life changes. And, it was my pleasure to be able to give you an experience today and share with you the power of fascia. One of the strongest men in the world, getting a little fascial maneuvers and feeling great because of it. Man, I can't imagine. I got to see some of those old cage fights. I can't even imagine. I know how those cage fights go. I can't even imagine what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, these are going to be great stories. You're going to look back at that and go, where did that start? Ikue.
Hello, good morning, Gary.
Hi, Ikue. So
How are you? Can you?
I think everybody probably knows you on our channel, but they might not know when your birthday is.
My birthday is October 20th,
That makes you a Libra.
Libra 26. That makes me also Capricorn.
Capricorn Libra. So you're all about the teacher and of balance and beauty and structure, right?
Yes, that's all.
Wait,
I love this.
hey, what do you know your moon and your rising?
Moon is 28 sorry, 28 Aquarius.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah,
Because it's like 28 is Taurus, stoic, manifesting. Aquarius is technology, community. But also that allows you to power through your emotions to get stuff done.
yeah. And as I'm learning 40 Days of Truth and Purpose, Serious Joy, and 40 Days of Past Lives and Karma, it's like, oh my God, I started to connect all the dots and all the things and then why I'm came here for and all the struggles I've been through. It's just like,
And what's your rising again?
20, Leo 20.
Oh,
degrees.
Cancer. Oh, caregiver from the
Oh, sorry.
heart.
Leo.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, no, 20 degrees Cancer.
Oh, okay.
That's a master caregiver from the heart.
That
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
that
Do you know what your Pluto is?
Pluto is okay. I have it in hand.
Yeah, for sure you do.
Interesting to go through. My Pluto is Pluto. Ooh. Pluto is 21 Libra.
Whoa, Sagittarius Libra, student and teacher. So yeah, and then what's your Chiron? What's the last one?
Chiron is 16 Taurus.
Oh, there you go. That's why. Okay, that makes so much sense.
That aligns with my midheaven, so I know exactly what I'm came here for, to heal my wounds.
Yeah, and also, but that Taurus also makes you always want to have physical security in this world. That makes a lot of sense. But it also makes you want to create things in this world that are spiritual, that are for the betterment of people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, everything is slowly coming together as I'm very clearing everything that is not me and gathering all the things that are about me. It's just I can see the clear path.
So how long
As I'm
have you been dancing for professionally?
Yeah, so I'm a dancer and dance instructor. I've been dancing since, I would say, 1999.
1999, that's 24 years. So you've been dancing since professionally since you were what, 3 years old? 2 years old?
No, I'm in my 40s.
Well, and this is a big point because most professional dancers don't even make it into their 30s or mid 30s.
Yeah, I think it's like the fact that I started to dance when I was in 19 years old. Just and then my body was really inflexible. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just had so much passion to express myself through movement. So I had my own struggle learning how to dance as an adult because in a restricted body.
Yeah.
And so that's I had to learn how to really use my brain to analyze each movement. And so that makes me a better teacher because I know how to guide people.
Right. Yeah. That's actually really good. So you started doing fashion maneuvers how long ago?
So this is my fourth year. I was introduced to Human Garage September 2020, and yeah, I attended the first workshop of making pizza and go hiking. And then Human Garage, when they released the first 10 basic maneuvers, that was, I think, December 2020. And that's
Yeah.
when I did that every single day and by myself. So by the time I got to do a coaching program with you guys, it was April 2021. I already kind of mastered 10 basic maneuvers.
Right. Yeah. And in Vancouver, you teach classes twice a week. They're public classes that are on our website. Anybody can go take a look at. And
Mhm.
what have you learned how many classes did you teach in the last year?
I forgot. Did you say 100 something?
Yeah, it was over 100.
It was a lot of classes. Yeah, I'm very grateful.
Yeah. So, and then outside of all, and then online, that was in person, and then online.
Oh,
So it's 100. Oh, sorry, it's 50 some odd. It was about 75 in person, and about 50 classes online. So it's about 125, I think it was.
yeah.
125 classes you taught last year.
I studied my TikTok class with Human Garage. That's where we started, and that was 2020. So January 2022, that's when I started to do weekly
Oh,
maneuver fashion.
I forgot about that too, because that's added another year. That's almost 200 classes you've taught.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I mean,
thing
yeah,
practice.
that's incredible.
Yeah. I
And
think what
what have you learned through that? Like, what has been your biggest learning through the period of teaching that?
I think is always show up. First of all, I think showing up is important. However, whatever you're going through, sometimes show up with, I'm detoxing so hard, I will show up anyways. And I can be, maybe emotionally like a little bit drained, but still show up. And I think I always do classes for myself first. And I trust that whatever I do in class will somehow help other people, find their own flow. But I understand that as I'm evolving myself, people will be gravitated towards me and learn something from me. And this is where I really, started to dig deeper into who I am as a person. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
What's do you have a moment that you can remember that was like the moment you talk about, which is your most proud moment?
Mm, I think. Um, it's very difficult to pinpoint everything. I think it's like, I don't know why I'm very emotional today. It's like I talk to you, it's just like tear coming up. But it's been quite a journey, I would say. It's like, oh, I also have a before after photo that I want to show.
Show me.
Uh, as I'm, as I'm like shedding all the stuff that is not me, and as I'm, just getting rid of all the clarity in my mind, I started to see structures and matrix and patterns and in a very logical structural way. And I started to play with those structures as I'm teaching fashion maneuvers or dance. And what I'm trying to say is, we have always have a choice. Let the structure control us, or we use the structure, understand there is a system, there's the energy, and rise above it,
Right.
right? And so when I teach, I always remind students that these are the structure that help you. At the end of it, when you get to a certain point, you need to also start working on your emotion now that you're reducing your stress. Now that you're taking care of yourself, eating all the good food. Now it's time for you to really go into a little area that you've been ignoring, whether that's your body, whether that's your, emotional patterns. And as I see my fascia being like of course, it's a water balloon. I also use this image like we're like a rubber boat and inflating ourselves like this.
Yeah.
When you do that, you notice like some edges and some handles. Those are the area that get inflated at the very end,
Right.
right? So it's very important. It's very easy to move that, like the layers of fascia that is like already kind of moving. But if you go to like fingers or your toes or your like winkles, like those are the little areas that you really want to like, tackle into once you're ready. Also the patterns that you created, like maybe you sit a lot for a very long time, or maybe like you're always on your phone, your postures like this, and little things like that.
So yeah, so that leads into what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing a fascial facelift program, right?
Yeah, I would like to do this, and because I'm very passionate. Like Gary, if you remember when I when I started to do fashion maneuvers, I used to ask you a lot of questions. Like always, like came up to Lion's face, like Gary, here are my list of
Yeah,
questions.
you're filling your database for all your websites and your properties. You have your own database. Yeah, you've asked more questions than anybody on the planet, for sure.
And I noticed that, at the end of it, I'll ask some of the questions, and then like, yeah, you were just like, okay, do this. But then it's like some of the answers I got was like not quite, um, you know, um, enough for me. And then that's when I realized that, oh, Gary is a man. And some areas like asking you about wrinkles, and it's like, oh, this is where I just actually need to start moving my fascia, instead of like asking people questions. So I started to play with my face and stretching all, right to left, up to down. And that's when I realized it's like, okay, it's time for me to go into those areas, because it wrinkles at the end of it is a compression of fascia. So just open the skin that is attached to fascia. And I strongly believe that as we hydrate our skin, we can manipulate our fascia in any way. If you want big eyes, it's possible. Gary, I don't know if you can still do this. I talk about this in person class sometimes. You show me, and I was like, the other day, we always say bones do not touch each other except your rib cage, teeth, and ears. And you show me your nose, because this is like not the touch. You can twist your and you let your nose touch your eyes. And I talk about that in person class, because like I remember Gary showed me, and the tip of the nose actually touched the ear, touched the eye. So
Yeah,
that was really, really funny. Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
yeah. And you can see even mine
Hmm.
like changing constantly, still changing.
Yeah,
It's
and then
accelerated actually this last 6 months, even since I've seen you. My face has been changing and changing and changing, and the symmetry, my jaw. This last part has been the weirdest part, because it's my jaw moving, the structure of my neck, the structure, the minute structure. Like before, it's like a dump truck.
right.
Move one thing, it was like this, and it was whoa, that felt so good. Now it's these little micro changes in my body, and I'm like, whoa, that is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's like, when the change happens, because our brain's job is to normalize everything that is going on, is there's like a little bit of discomfort. It's like, am I doing the right thing? It's like, oh, why I'm moving like this, or what I'm like, oh, my face is changing. But I think at the end of it, it's like this micro adjustment is, you always say, like, when you work through your emotions, there's when you are finally able to self-actualize your pattern, and it's like what's harming you, then it's like once you choose to release it. I think it's like it's all about the permission that you give yourself, because if you don't feel safe, you don't let go, right?
Yeah.
So you believe that you have all the power to heal yourself, and you give you permission to yourself, even like you use your hands, maneuvering fascia. It's like, okay, you're safe and protected. Okay, to stretch this way, you can let your nose touch your eyes. So yeah, I want to show you, Gary. So I just quickly put that in. Put this. So this one is just random picture that I found on my um, phone, and the other one I just took a picture. I have a little bit of I feel like a little sagginess here because I was talking a lot yesterday and I did not do face lift. But let's see if we can see it.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh
lighting.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I can see completely swollen.
yeah.
Your jaw was out.
Mhm.
Your swollen forehead was
It's,
pulled back.
mhm.
Yeah, and then you're completely different.
So, you know, sometimes I answer Human Garage messages chat
Yeah.
to someone.
So sometimes for all you guys in there, when you're answering Human Garage, it's Ikue in there.
And then there was one person that asking. I just remember. What do you do for your eyes? I noticed Gary's eyes. Oh, the eye. The white part is really white. I always have red eyes, and I just like when I look at my photos, I used to have red eyes too,
Yeah.
and those things. I used to notice. I think it's like in general, we have traumas and tension, compression in our body, and we are completely healed when you stop thinking about it, right?
And this has been the the biggest journey for me, and I can tell how long someone's been doing this process, like you, because there's a common um, inner standing or inner knowledge, and that's for me. It was like this last year had nothing to do with the fascial maneuvers. I did the maneuvers. I didn't do the maneuvers. Nothing changed. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I didn't do them, I got better. And but what changed is when I changed the way that I processed my emotions, my fears, my thoughts, and when I was in community. Because when we were in Lions Bay, we weren't in community. I mean, we had community around, but we were isolated. But since since I've been living in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
we have people all the time in community, and so we're always processing. And I found that processing with my community has what's taken this last bit of transformation for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really huge. So, going back to the eyes, like I used to notice I used to have woke up with the red eyes. I one day I noticed I never really have that anymore. That's when I noticed like my eyes are clear and it's open. And when I stopped thinking about my 11 lines because I don't see it anymore, and that's when I
Yeah.
healed, right? And I used to notice wrinkles around my lips, and I was like, oh, I don't see it. When I do jaw release, for example, I go like that, and I also stretching my lips together. That got rid of my wrinkles. Because I remember when I first started to do fascia maneuvers, I was actually really reluctant to purse my lips like this, because like, oh, I'm gonna make my wrinkle worse. So this is what I would say. Yeah, but I don't. don't have that fear anymore. I think as we unwind our fascia, we just takes up all the fear that we have in our body. And I loved our conversation in Cancun talking about fear. You helped me work through fear. You know, asked you about, Gary, what do you think about the fear of being cold?
Yeah.
And you say fear is a judgment that gives yourself. Once you know that you have fear, then you need to validate that you have fear inside your body. So you started to call on experiences, events, people to validate that you have fear. So the only way to get through that is to acknowledge, and it's a judgment. So it's just like, and then when you judge people, you judge yourself and you judge others too. So it's like, oh, okay. So now, like, allow myself to feel I do have a fear, but I don't need to store them inside of my body anymore. And I believe that everyone has their favorite spot to store emotions. Maybe some people like to store it here more. Some people like to store it in their hips, you know. So I joke around that. And I think just removing that part of ourselves and loving ourselves and loving ourselves more. And at the end of it, just be compassionate. And finally, that makes me emotional because I think we're all really hard on ourselves, right? And at the end, we just have to allow ourselves to make mistakes and be compassionate and loving. That's all that is.
Yeah.
We're all going through stuff.
Yeah.
The last 20,000 years cycle. And in this powerful Asian era, I just want to be authentic and focus on myself. Finally, follow my heart over my brain. Focus on my love over my fear. And yeah, keep liberating myself. And I want to take people through our gravitated smart towards me along my journey, and show that this is how I show up to the world, and this is how you can liberate yourself in a unique way. And we have our own unique way, right?
So, what makes you you?
um Great question. I think what makes me me is I come from a place where structures are valued. I was born and raised in Japan, and I'm going through my past lives. There were just so many times that I put myself in a structure. I had no freedom. This is just like, me going through 40 days of past lives in coma and learning all about my birth chart. Life after past lives. I was putting into organization and maybe organized religions where structures were value, dedication, loyalty. Those are the good qualities. But oftentimes I did not have time to follow my heart, or didn't have that, maybe I had this idea of what I want to do, taking leadership, but ended up following what others people told me to do. But in this lifetime, I have all the power to follow my heart. And this is what I came here for. And I love to have fun in a long way. So I always joke around. At the end, I think life is meant to be experienced, and life is meant to, we're all here to have fun. And as we are leveling up, things that were okay before are not okay for us. So we are upgrading our self-love and standard of what is possible for us. And I think we're all learning through this journey. And what makes me uniquely me is I fully believe that age is just compression of fascia. As fascia opens up, I believe that people can still be dancing like a child, and we get to have fun. People often say to me when they take my class, they feel like their inner child comes up. It's like, oh, it's like I don't have to act like an adult anymore, you know. I think we're all meant to have fun and all that. I think I have that power to, um, like inspire people to be themselves, liberate themselves. I think movement is powerful. I'm coming to a point where I don't want to do competitions, even like a dance. I don't want to do dance competitions anymore. I just want to like, keep focusing on myself. How much, Gary, you talk about like the performance, right? How human body, when we unwind our fascia, what is possible, at my age, or like what is age? I really want to start moving more, just like dig deeper into how my body can move, because I feel like for over the 2 years, especially since pandemic, I was just like constantly moving forward. As I do, I reduce my stress. But I found that, when I first started Fashion Universe, I was I was like this. I was compressed this way, and I was like this. And as I did Fashion Universe, I noticed that I elongated myself, but then as a result, I shrunk this way. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. And I noticed that maybe because of it, I'm just like examining my body. I noticed that my hips are tighter than before. Like all the stuff that I was able to do before, like a splits, like it's like, I feel very different. As I'm changing my body, I feel like I'm dealing with the new body too.
You are.
Yeah,
Because you in that, when you do the splits before, you went from here to here
yeah,
in order to go there.
yeah.
So now so what you're doing is you're restructuring your body. And that's, I mean, for me, it's things like moving around, because my hips used to be down here, and
Mhm.
then up over here. So my fascia sits up over top of my trochanter, my bone in my hips.
Right.
And then that puts me up and higher. That's where the height came from. Yeah, and I think I honestly feel like I'm just getting started. I feel like the height's about to happen, because this spinal restrictions, like I had a practitioner that Justin Franson, he's a practitioner, sports coach for top athletes in the world with EMF Rocks. He's here, and I
Mhm.
let him do some work on me because he's really good. I mean, he works with pro athletes all the time, and I removed some restrictions that I haven't been able to process myself yet. And I feel
Mhm.
like that we're just about at that point where we completely unlock. And when we do that, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to keep growing.
My personal thought is that I don't really need to grow anymore. I'm like okay with my height, but what I want to work on is, because I elongated going back to the height, when I was in high school. Now I want to grow this way a little bit, maybe bigger boobs and bigger butt. What do you think,
You,
Gary?
yes. I
But
honestly, I think you're getting leaner.
yeah,
I see, yeah, because there's a lot of compression in your body.
yeah.
And I feel like you got another 3/4 of an inch to an inch of compression to come up.
Okay, okay. So those are like, would you say those are the internal layers, like fear, judgment, grief?
Yeah, because the internal layers, and this is what we're sharing in our performance program, is, we've talked about this. The fascia works as
Hmm.
rings around the bone all the way up to the skin, and each layer, each ring is connected to an organ. So the internal one around the bone is bladder, fear. So when it locks restricted movement.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because, and then as it opens up, then all of a sudden I have more movement. But when we start working, it seems like we work from the top layers, which is lung,
Yeah.
all the way inward. And we release fear and anger and sadness and grief and shame. They come out over time.
Yeah. Also, like sometimes the detox, the release is huge. That's when I know it's like, okay, I'm like being squeezed so that I can just be light. And but what is fear? I think it's fear. Our ego always tries to protect us from being hurt. And I think it's, the fear
Fear,
protected.
you know what fear is?
Yeah.
Fear is your body asking you to be more confident.
Ah,
That's
and
all it
why?
is. Because fear is the absence of confidence. And as I have situations that I have fear and I get over them, I become more confident, one piece at a time. So
Right.
when I invite fear in and I invite the experiences, then I can accomplish them. Like I had a
Right.
conversation with somebody the other day. Who was it? Oh, Ija. So
Mhm.
I had a conversation with Ija, and she was talking about an injury that she had,
Mhm.
and it was the same injury I had when I slipped up and fell on my tailbone. And then she talked about another injury she had. She fell. It's the same injury I had, and I'm like, but I was listening to her talk about it, and she goes, but as I got through it, I realized that I wouldn't get hurt, or that I had the tools to fix it. And that's why today I don't mind. I try anything because I have confidence. I'm completely confident. I have complete faith that no matter what happens
Mhm.
here, it's for a reason, and my body is always getting better.
Yeah.
So when I have a supposed injury, it's not an injury, it's an opportunity for my body to be confident and perform over top of the current experience.
Yeah, I believe I started to really believe that 100%. Whatever comes at me is not to get at me, it's for me, it's an opportunity for me to release what I had for a long time inside
But
of
that
my.
took a while,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you've been going 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we've talked through a gazillion of your fears.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Oh. Yes.
Yeah, but look at who you've become.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at who you are right now. I mean, even to talk to people, you 4 years ago, it'd be like so self-conscious
Yeah.
to even have the conversation. And then after you do it, even if you do a good job, you'd be like trying to pick apart all the things you did wrong
Yeah.
for the next week until the next time you show up.
Yeah. And that's changed a lot for me because I think learning about astrology really helped. At the end of it, I just realized that, oh my God, I have so much leadership degrees in my sign and what I came here for. And like, this is exactly what I should be doing. And so I just start believing myself that I am this person. And there's nothing to be afraid. And also coming from that self-love and self-confidence, whatever come at me, I can take it as an opportunity instead of taking as a lesson or threat. I don't need to protect myself anymore. All these experiences are helping me release and become who I am. So I like my phrase saying, thank you for your patience with me because I'll be making mistakes, but I am humble enough because I believe in myself. I love myself. So, whoa. Yeah.
So 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 what do you do when, I mean, you're through by far, you're through the thickest part of the journey of transformation. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm I'm never done. I'm I'm on I'm on the journey of transformation. That
Mhm.
means that I'm never done. I'm never at a spot, which is the first thing is I want to be here. That got me for a while, but eventually that limited me. So when someone comes up to you
Uh-huh.
now and they feel like they're stuck or they have a pain or a dysfunction, like how do you react to that? Like,
I always said in my class that thank you for coming to my class. Let's move, bring back your flow into life. And that's where I am good at because I move. I'm a dancer. I know how to flow. And we all have our own flow, and things get stagnant and compressed when we stop our flow. We're meant to flow. There's nothing inside of our body in our lives to hold and hoard everything. And so it's like, you don't want to be a hoarder of your own emotions or chemicals, anything that. But because I feel that, teaching kids for a long time, like nowadays kids get all kinds of food and chemicalized, all the chemicals, but generally the kids that were happy, they don't get affected by that so much because they were just moving and finding their own flow. I think at the end of it, earlier days you often say nothing um, get nothing can beat us if our fascia is open.
mhm.
So if we have the flow, we don't have anything to be afraid of. and we have a community to support, and we're here to empower ourselves, and that's why community exists. It's not like relying on each other. We believe that each one of us have all the power to heal ourselves. Let's just start believe, right? And I just want to say this, earlier days, Jason told me, I asked him, how come fascia maneuver works? And and Jason said, because Gary believes so. And because Gary believes so much that this works, that's why it works. And I think that's really true. And the more people started to believe in, and that power multiplies.
Yeah.
We don't know why it works, and we just embody it. We used to call ourselves citizen scientists, and I still do.
Yeah.
And because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a practitioner, but I know how to move my own fascia. That's why when I touch people, I know I feel it, and I can maneuver fascia.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You don't have to be because a lot of people, I mean, you were like, I want more information. I want a certification. I want it. But at the end of it, you're at the journey now where I know how to help me. So if I know how to help me, I know how to help anybody.
Mm-hmm. And I show my way of fighting back my flow into my life. So what is your flow, right?
Yeah.
You all have a flow. Yeah, so I'm very excited for my new journey. Like, I'm transitioning from my old story to new story. I'm actually moving out. Gary, I'm getting a key today for the new apartment.
Where's your new apartment?
So it's gonna be the center of downtown. I thought it was gonna be more Zen meditational place, but somehow we picked this like center of downtown Vancouver. And we're gonna be joking around. We have a view of a penthouse, which is a stripper club. But
You're right across from the penthouse on what is it? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm excited. I think my partner is very good at organize because he's like a master Virgo. He likes to, he likes the tidy place, and he thinks that I have too much stuff. This is my opportunity to throw away all that junk that I have, and time is here. Like it triggers a lot in me. At the same time, I know this is Pisces season. We're moving into Aries, and this is the time. I'm just doing this.
Yeah. And so people can, a couple ways they can interact with you. They can come to your class in Vancouver,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Tuesdays and Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a really fantastic class of Cynthia there last week, right? 60
Yeah,
people or something.
so super powerful. Amani Daniel from Survivor Malls, and Shane and Gabby from Alcaviva. They came and supported the event, and Jordan,
Yeah.
West guy. He's a fun guy.
Yeah. And then you do your classes every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do my class Instagram Live Mondays at 6 p.m. PST.
Yeah.
And
And then we have a couple other things. So just for the future, we'll have human garage classes that you'll be doing online on Zoom and in the future. And
yeah.
then we're also working on your fascial
Mm-hmm.
facelift. Do you have a name for it yet, or is it?
What? What
Is
is
it?
it?
Do you have you named it yet? Do you have a
Oh,
name?
so I wanted to call it Oh, I think I said fascial facelift. Yeah,
Yeah, fascial facelift.
yeah, fascial.
Yeah, and then it's improve your flow with Ikue.
Yeah.
So
So
that's going to be, is it a 4-part series or something coming up?
I'm thinking I'd like to do like one time like introduction to fascial facelift. And if we're ever interested in go dive deeper, we can do like a series of 4 classes.
Yeah,
I'm open
perfect.
to.
And that's coming up. Well, that'll be sometime in the next probably like 6 weeks or so, something like that, right?
They can go to the link in the bio and sign up.
Oh yeah. So right now you can go to the link in our bio if you want to join Equay's Fascial Facelift, and then as soon as it's out and ready to go, you can sign up and you can pre-register.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm very, very excited. I'm very passionate about beauty. I think that's Libra side of me. I'm
Yeah.
all about like discovering my potential, whether that's the body, like the mobility, but also like, how can we maintain ourselves without using Botox and fillers? it's all possible when fascia opens up. So yeah, let's open up the wrinkles because the compression of fascia.
No more winkles.
No more wrinkles, yes.
Okay, thanks, Ikue. It's really great talking to you. It's so great to see, watch your journey. And it's nice because we haven't checked in like this in a while.
No.
And because these are the things like when I see you, usually we're together working or there's something happening. And at the end of it, it's usually just like, hey, you still alive? Yeah, I'm still alive. You still alive?
Yeah. So I'm very grateful for this journey. Everyone, team Gary and Lisa. And yeah, I'm just like, I'm in this and this great, have my own flow going on and, spreading the love of self-love and compassion. So
Thank you, Ikue.
Gary,
Bye.
have a great
Bye.
day. Bye.
Okay, I take it back, Lisa. That was different. Okay. Wow. What a day so far. So we had hunkering stool, which I really like. Yeah, this thing is like so cool, man. You gotta get yourself one. Yeah. What I like about it, I like putting the knees behind. I didn't even think of that, of course. I hadn't used it enough. Because this is like a Bosu ball, but a million times better. So it's like when I sit on a ball, the legs go out and it's actually not that good. This one allows me to flex and move. And also I'm on a natural surface, which is wood. And the other part too is when I'm doing this, I can actually do something like a fascial maneuver. You can do a knee torque and go down like this, and you get an angle that you could never get. Most people could never ever get. This is a tough angle to get, like this. And then what we use it for is just a stool because I don't sitting in a regular chair doesn't work really well for me, and I sit like this quite often, but I can't sit like this all the time either. I need that in between. So this is a great in between. It's a squat trainer, but it's also a stool that allows you to get your knees above your hips. And if you get your knees above your hips, you start changing everything in your pelvic floor. You breathe through your diaphragm. You don't breathe through your chest. And super powerful. So if you guys want to support hunkering stool, I would definitely go get one. And remember, he's making them all by hand. So get a discount, go to our website or go to the link in our bio.
What I like about it is I can get in a position and be static and just have that little movement to get the movement in my
And the ankles and the legs. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Steve Malcolm. Yes. Sign me up. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And it has movement. It has rotational movement because of 3 springs. And it still has stability too. It makes it feel safe. So definitely hello. Hello. Steve, how you doing?
Hey there. How are you?
Good. I think I'm looking at your wall.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Now I'm looking
okay.
at some bills.
I don't know if there's a way to flip the camera. I've never been on
Yeah,
a live
you
before.
right in the bottom. There's 2 arrows. That one goes left and one goes like this. Right in the center on the bottom. It's on the second from the right. It's in the center. You hit that. You see it?
I do. Oh, wait. Here we go.
There you go.
There we go. Awesome.
Awesome. So, Steve, where are you calling from?
I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina, South Carolina, and all the Carolinas in between.
Yeah. So,
Are you born and raised in North Carolina?
nope. I was born in Rhode Island,
Oh,
actually.
Rhode Island. No, cool. So, and when's your birthday, Steve?
January 30th, 1973.
Okay. So you power through your emotions and you invite everybody over to a party and you stand and watch everybody, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm about halfway through my first 28-day reset.
Perfect.
And I'm learning about the astrology and stuff. I printed off my stuff.
What
But
degree of Aquarius are you?
um,
8?
so it says 10. Is it the number
Yeah,
before
yeah.
Aquarius?
Yeah,
Is
you're 10
10?
degrees. So you're a Taurus Aquarius. So you're all heart centered. You're connected to your heart, which a lot of Aquariuses have troubles doing, which is cool. But a 10-degree Aquarius tends to be able to manifest stuff when their heart's involved. If your heart's involved, it just happens.
Okay, that's good to know. I've heard that. I don't feel that way,
Well,
but
you can look at it another way. Everything that you don't like in your life, you manifested it.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot's changing. I'm taking big steps and making big changes, and but the health part is a big part of that, and I feel like I'm already making progress with that. I have this weird, it's a Gittleman syndrome. It's this electrolyte disorder I've had like 10 years that came on in my late 30s. Really low magnesium, potassium. My kidney function's fine, but I just pee it out basically.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that in my background and my experience, as you load up the minerals over time, like the diatomaceous earth with the silica, um, what happens is that when the body is out of balance in in anything, hormones are out of balance, too much Wi-Fi, too much chemicals, stuff like that. What happens is the body dispatches all of these chemicals to fire attributes or things for the body to do. Think about every one of those minerals. Sorry, it dispatches minerals. Every one of those minerals is a pathway to some function in the body. And then when we're deficient in something, we overuse some, and then we create a deficiency. So, what we think is a deficiency is, well, I need more of it, so I take more of it, but that's not the problem. The problem is the body's not able to extract it from the environment. So as I feed more of it, it actually gets worse over time because the body stops trying to convert the environment because it says, "Oh, thank God, I got somebody giving me all that stuff that I'm missing," and it just goes on and it keeps doing its thing. So usually, think about it as about a 3 month to 6 month journey. But within 6 months, most of the time, all those issues go away when you have diatomaceous earth and Irish sea moss or any of the other minerals. It starts to go away as long as you have the silica.
okay. So that kind of makes sense because I've been taking like handfuls of magnesium, potassium, and my numbers are at level or going down, and they're still really low.
Yeah.
So would you say maybe pull back on not taking so much? Keep going with your protocol, but maybe
Yeah.
pull back on the.
Yeah. Actually, I'd pull back right now, and
Okay.
you're starting to supplement the ones there. It's all in a delicate balance. Like
Mm.
all those minerals are used like an orchestra, and in an orchestra, if somebody stands up and starts playing the horn out of tune, that's what happens when you give yourself stuff exogenously. Like when you eat, like people they'll have like a thyroid issue. So they say, I can't take iodine, it's gonna hurt me. And I'm like, yeah, if you take iodine out of all the other minerals and then you have it separately, it can become a tool. It is a tool and it can become a weapon. But if you eat seaweed, likely it's not going to trigger your iodine issue because it's that iodine is in balance with mercury, tin, calcium, magnesium, selenium. Everything else that you need is there in nature in balance. So when you get it out of nature, it already is balanced. When we try to play God and tell our body what vitamins and stuff that we need, there is no human being. I've learned after 35 years of doing this and prescribing literally tens of thousands of people using every form of testing you can imagine. I've learned that I'm not smarter than your body.
Mhm.
And everybody who thinks they are, I get it. I was there once. They're going to come to a hard reckoning because everybody who's a nutritionist or practitioner, they have these people that they just can't seem to help, no matter what they do. And
Right.
my whole thing was, I got everybody that helped. I don't pat myself on the back for all who helped. I could look at the ones I couldn't help, and that was where my focus was for as a practitioner for the last 15 years.
Hmm.
And the truth is this: your body heals itself, and if you give your body the tools, the proper tools, and all it needs is the proper minerals, the proper amount of hydration, and that's not drinking too much. And it needs movement. And if you just do that, eventually everything works. Eventually. Now you can speed it up by taking an anti-inflammatory, by regulating your sugar a little bit. But when we start giving our body vitamins, as an example, it's like, woo! We're heading for disaster because you're telling the body it's no longer capable. It's like using a crutch. You're no longer capable of getting what you need out of the environment. So I'm going to do it for you because you body or you're too stupid. And that's just not how it is. This brain up here is easily 1,000 times stupider than this brain.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like isolates don't exist in nature. There is no just magnesium or just potassium. You get all this other stuff with it. So that does make sense. That part makes a lot of sense. And then, like, I know I've had heavy metal testing done and had like high mercury and lead and arsenic and all these type of things. So just using this protocol and just putting in good stuff is gonna help get that stuff out. Is there anything else like I should be focusing on to try to like open up detoxification pathways? Like I do infrared sauna.
Yeah, I mean, those are
Sometimes.
good. I mean, anything that you do, like sauna, light therapy. Light therapy is cool. Saunas are cool. I mean, these are attributes of nature. They're getting the body to perform. Um, honestly, I've used a lot of technology, and
Mhm.
and I before you guys go hit me with all the technology that's so great, I freaking used it all. I've tested it all. I saw at the Human Garage Clinic every new laser technique, every new piece of technology from Tesla coils to amp coils to everything. I've seen it all. And what I found is that our body is trying to figure out the environment. Every time I give it a new stimulus, even if it's good for a moment, then it has to go, oh, that's the environment, and it tries to figure it out. So if I start bombarding my body with very specific frequencies, as an example, constantly, then that's like taking vitamin A or vitamin C or vitamin D. I if I have natural harmonic frequencies like for music, or stuff like that, or I have natural lights coming in and stuff like that, the body adapts faster. I now believe that all the technology that added to my body is what took me the extra couple years after I started this process for my body to come back to balance.
Okay. Yeah, and if this was you, like personally, I think I know your answer to this question, but as far as like, because I do take one specific medication that's supposed to helps my body retain this stuff, but if it was you, would you possibly wean off of those eventually too,
Okay,
and just see how you
so ask your, so close your eyes,
feel? Mm-hmm.
feel the flow in your body. Say, what does no feel like in my body? Say that.
What does no feel like in my body?
What does no feel like in my body?
I did this last night, actually, part of the 28 day, and no was always going backwards, and yes, I kept going forward. It was
Okay,
pretty
good.
profound.
Okay, so you already got that.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did it
so
yesterday, last night.
should I continue to take this medication?
Should I continue to take this medication? Yeah, I got my answer.
Okay, yeah,
I'm falling backwards.
and I'm not answering it for you. I'm giving you a tool to make it to allow a signal for your body, which you can validate in 1,000 different ways. And people go, but that's medication. Hold on a second here. I'm like, what's the difference between medication and food and clothes or something like that? It's all the same. Either it's good for me or it's not.
Yeah, it was pretty profound. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? you're in the right path. You're halfway through this transformation. What actually, now that you're like day 14 or something, what do you notice right now? Like, what is changing for you?
Um, More energy, clearer. I notice I still have a lot of food sensitivities, and I'll eat certain things that I think are okay, and then I'll have like that reaction. I have lots of mucus in my body, lots of sinus issues. I've had that. Like if I eat dairy, I'll get like a sinus infection. So I've avoided that for decades now, and there's just more and more stuff. So I still notice I notice more. It's good and bad. It's like a flow. And I'm having more energy at times, but then I also still feel like I have a lot of that food allergy type stuff popping up.
Food allergies, in my experience, my personal experience, and then the literally tens of thousands of people that have reported to us. What I find personally is all food allergies go away. Now, what happened is they all went away, and then I got to choose what I wanted to have, because a lot of the stuff that I was allergic to, like I don't eat wheat, I don't eat
Right, me either.
flour, wheat, but when I could, because I didn't for so many years, as I got older, I started limiting my food. I went back and I ate everything. I ate wheat, I ate dairy, I ate everything because I could. And then I decided, then I came and I go, I don't want to do that anymore. And then I made a choice, but it wasn't an involuntary choice, because when I stopped doing those things, it's like, yeah, but every time somebody have toast, I'm like, oh, that feels so good. And I have to talk myself off a cliff. Like going to restaurants, I'll give you another one. Going to like people, I used to go, oh man, that restaurant was so great. And I ruminate about all the fun time I have there, realizing it's not organic, and I'm just poisoning myself. So I no longer call them restaurants. Well, first of all, I'll say, well, that was tasty, because tasty wasn't good. Tasty is just like it tastes good, doesn't mean it was good. And the other thing is I call them PDCs, poison distribution centers. And
Right.
and what happens is I go back and I say, oh yeah, that PDC was tasty, because I don't even want to reinforce to my nervous system that I can't have something that I wanted. So I keep ruminating about all the things that I used to love that I don't want, because there's not a part of me, even the smallest part of me, that would go back and eat non-organic food or eat bread. Like I have zero desire to eat bread. But before I was eating it again, I always had this, oh, I wish I could, because I can't. Because I
Right.
can't, I'm not doing it. So that was the cool part about the reset process for me, is I came fully to reset, where I could do everything in my life that I didn't want to do. And then I chose not to do it. So I was in power, not the food, not the item, not the activity. I made the choice, and that empowered me.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't really heard you talk much about is food and diet yet, and maybe that's something that's coming. But I kind of feel like any kind of whole foods that God put on earth, like fruits, vegetables, and then meats too. Clean meats, the way God created them to be raised, just eating grass, not crap. I feel like that's, and kind of maybe just listening to your body and that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
that's it.
Is that
Listen to your body. The one
okay?
thing you can do is you can learn to talk to your body again. And if I always follow my body, irrespective, if my body told me to, I eat plant-based, okay? If my
Okay.
body told me to eat meat, I would eat meat. That's not what
Okay.
my body's saying. And if my body in a month from now, irrespective of what I believe in my spiritual process, if it told me to eat meat, I would eat meat. My body's currently saying no. I don't think, based on what I believe in the human body and how the human body works, I don't believe I'm going to go back to animal products. But again, if my body said yes, I would.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, it's not a religion. For me, it's my body is constantly adapting to a constantly adapting environment. And then there is no way that what I take in today or consume in content, in food, in products, there's no way to know that what I'm consuming today will be what I need in 2 years or 5 years. because the environment's changing. Like we got Justin coming on here in a bit, and he has with EMF rocks, and here it was is that if you go back like 75, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, we didn't have frequency. So that does something. Like the 2.4 frequency wave is dehydrating us. We didn't have that happening to us, you know, even 30, 40 years ago, it wasn't there. So it's time to get rid of the religion and the belief and saying, I have to do it this way and do exactly what our body wants every time. And what I found is over the time, my body would want meat until it didn't. And then when it didn't, I didn't do it. No religion around it. It would want certain foods until it didn't. It would let me I would wear certain clothes over other clothes. And then one day it said, no, I'm done with that. And I call it progressive layers of awareness. And then because when people go from like, okay, I want to live this lifestyle over here, this healthy, that lifestyle that I see Gary and Human Garage team living, and they try to go there right away. Well, you're detoxing from a drug. The drug is everything you consume, whether it's media, food, every part of our life is a drug. It's a consumption. And if I detox my drug too fast, I can crash. So people have to have a journey of detox. And the only way to do this, in my opinion, is to listen to our bodies.
Right. Yeah, one last question I have just about fasting. Like, do you recommend doing that during the 28 day, or is it better to wait? Like, I'd rather not have a bunch of healing reactions, which
Yeah.
I've had a little bit along the way, but
So, I mean, my first recommendation about fasting is to do it slow. Just kidding. My friend wants to start a restaurant, and he wants to have it as a fasting restaurant where he brings in waters from everywhere. And the whole concept is around the name because fasting is you're not getting anything. So he's going to call it nothing better.
right.
Nothing better. So yeah, now we get the jokes out of the way.
Right.
Your first 28-day reset, I think I would keep your life as normal as possible so that you can see what changes that's doing. Then as you get through the 28-day reset into lifestyle artist program or redoing the reset, then start intermittent fasting if you haven't done that. And what's really powerful is you can use fascial fuel to do that. It's super powerful because it keeps your body in ketogenesis for 4 hours. So you're not hungry, you're burning fat. Intermittent fasting first, then try something like a soup fast. You know, like we have a hearty soup, all blended up, and then do that for a bit, and then move into it. That's how I did it. And because if I've never fasted before, it's like you're on heroin, which food is heroin,
Right.
and then you come off heroin. I mean, you're not going to hurt coming off it, but you're going to shit your pants a lot. If you know what I mean, you've got to. For those of you guys who've watched Heroin Detox, you know what I'm talking about. You've got to give your body this space to experience in a gradual way. The sharp, like the first thing I did when we started this journey was a 44-day fast. No, we did a 3-day fast. 6 months later, did a 44-day fast, but that was extreme. And I learned a lot, but I learned more and benefited more over 3 and 5 and 10 and 15-day fasts in the last 3 years than I did in that 44-day fast.
Wow. Yeah. This was great. I'm glad I got to talk to you. I'd love to talk to you more. Like I've been talking about starting a podcast for years, and a lot of changes are happening. So I'm going to do that soon, and love to maybe have you on sometime. I'd love to talk about your journey using, psilocybin, how that helped you guys just maybe discover. It sounds like it helped you kind of figure out some of this stuff.
We're gonna explore those topics in our performance series because behind a paywall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Behind a paywall, we can say things that, it's publicly, there's a restriction of what we can share publicly. There is. We're as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
But we're going to take our whole lives and what really happened behind the scenes, and we're going to share that as we show people how to perform. That's what's coming up here in May.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been telling everybody about this program. I love that you guys are open sourcing it basically and making it free. I agree. That's the only way that would really explode and grow.
Yeah. And you know
I
what?
want.
We're gonna take the fascial maneuvers reset process, and then we're gonna show our version of performance. We're gonna use that money to develop more content to help the world perform better. But and that'll always be free, the part that's there. But here's the point: is that you could go and coach people through the fascial maneuvers program and charge them for that. I mean, it is completely open technology, and we want it to be that way. But and you can also take all the stuff that we learned and create your own program on it. And if you get big enough and good enough, we'll support you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
go out,
awesome.
build your podcast. And when you're ready, I mean, getting me on a podcast is a little tough, but go out and build your podcast. Talk to a whole bunch of people in this industry. Become a name in this industry, in our community, and then you'll trickle your way up. Like you want to really talk to. Talking to me is that end result. You want to drive people on, talk to all the people that are in the journey. Because by the way, those people a year or 2 years from now, they're the big names.
Right.
Like Ikue that was on here earlier. You could grab her on your podcast.
Yeah. 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 This is awesome. Good
Hey,
stuff.
awesome. Great talking to you.
All right.
See you, Steve.
Thanks. Take care. See you, Gary.
All right. Okay, everybody, great conversations today. If you haven't done it yet, hunkering Stool, go to our website or go to link in our bio and you can get it on either one. And if you want to sign up for Ikue's facelift program, it hasn't been fully announced, but we have a pre-registration. You can just register. Let's say you're interested. There will be a limit to the capacity on a program like that. So basically sign up, go there right now, and let us know that you're interested. It'll also help us get it into our queue a little bit faster. And outside of that, everybody have a fantastic weekend. Oh, and and in a few minutes, if you want to know more about EMFs, we're going to be doing some actual hardcore testings here with Justin from EMF Rocks over there, and Lisa. They're gonna be going and taking you guys. What have you guys been doing?
We're gonna go and go around the property. Justin's been clearing all the rooms for EMF and showing us how to utilize our EMF space so we can heal our bodies. So we're gonna go and show what he's been doing.
Justin, that's what we're gonna do.
Yes, get ready.
And Justin,
Show you what your environment looks like inside your home, office, and make your living space a healthy space with a resonance as close as you can to nature.
okay, that's awesome. So we're gonna disconnect from here for a bit, and they're gonna come back on live, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.